Welcome to Untitled Entertainment. It is I, Jesse Milestone, coming to you on this Friday with both good news and bad news.
I have a really bad feeling about this.
Where people were just walking around, just jizzing force all over the place. He looks like he has been drinking soy from his mother's teat. Wrap yourselves in, guys, because we are gonna get mean!
I got him! Great kid! Don't get cocky!
Welcome to Mindless Entertainment. My name is Jesse Milestone. I am your God Empress, fearless leader of the Mindless Mob. And tonight, guys, very special guest, I'm introducing you to a brand new friend. You have never seen him on my channel before. I have only seen him 2 different times in instances in person. He is a con friend. They're people you meet at conventions, and then you hang out with them in person, and you're like, we're real friends, and then you stream. Anyway, here he is, guys. It's Hunter. Welcome.
Hi, hello. Oh, you like that voice crack?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a perfect way to
What a hi, zoinks, man. Huh?
perfect
Math-
impression right now.
Well, it makes sense because Matthew Lillard, HorrorHound.
Did you get a chance to meet him this weekend?
I did not. I was going to Sunday, and then I had a thing called anxiety, so I had to bounce for a bit.
Well, we will talk about that because this weekend was a lot. There were a lot of people there this weekend, and I was like, I don't like people this much.
Well, it usually isn't bad for me because where I'm at, like a convention or a concert, I feel like I'm at home.
Yeah, these are my people. You're surrounded by your people. But when you get too many people at a point, it just gets to a place where you're like, there's too many of you, and not all of you. Some of you must therefore suck. And therefore, I want to kill some of you. And that's kind of what happens.
Yeah, I mean, there was a long period of time. I still somewhat feel it that everybody I looked at, I wanted to, just wanted to
just like choke slam them into a wall. Be and you're dead. And you're dead. And you're dead.
Fonging insides become outside. Pain. Lots of pain.
All right, Wart. I see you. I feels you. Well quoted. Alan Tudyk is a gem, no matter what he's doing.
Extra points to anybody who can tell me what that movie's from.
Obviously I knew. Oh, also, guys, if you want double bonus points, so definitely extra points for that one. Double bonus points if you get the reference in the thumbnail. I did put a nerd reference in the thumbnail of this video, guys. So
I actually didn't get that.
I'm waiting for someone who does. So much anger in this. It's gonna be a good stream. Yes, Zach Blackfire. D Pensac is right. He was there at HorrorHound. It was crazy. He's there regularly all the time, and even he was like, I ain't gonna stay long. This sucks. It was just too crowded on that Saturday. Also, Andy McCallum, thank you. 17 live raid. Some of you guys have been chilling with me for the past several hours. Andy McCallum is here. Zach Blackfire is here. James Unchained is here. All those guys were over on 17 live just a few minutes ago. We were rocking out, playing some fun music. Dr. Coffin Nails is here. We missed him at HorrorHound this year, but hopefully we'll see him in September. And Philip Gage. Also, this is Phil over from 17 Live, right? Yes. So another. How much does an absent parent pay?
Pay for what? Like, what are we talking about? Because
if you said you're listed as a professional absent parent.
So
job. What do you make?
Okay.
What is that job?
Gotcha. It depends. I'm a firm believer of hit it and quit it. So that's where that comes from. Also, my father. So I just kind of took that from.
You're like, yeah, it's an inherited title,
Pretty much. Like I feel like I'm destined to be a deadbeat dad, like my father.
Well, these things happen. James Unchained got your reference, by the way.
Oh, thanks, James. Beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, he's a pretty cool guy. So, James, you're gonna have to come down to HorrorHound sometime. It's not too bad. It's a weekend. It's a weekend trip. You can make the drive. Dion comes down from Michigan for it. So, Dantastic got it. Yeah, Dantastic got the thumbnail reference. Well done, Dantastic. I want to see if anyone else got it before that. No, you are the first one. Well done and well spotted. Now, does anyone else, just by Dantastic saying Jubal Early reference, get the reference? That's a great story, by the way, because Jubal Early, this character this is the reference to that. Okay. So Demogeny, what's up? How are you? Hail Demogeny. Sorry, it's the beginning of the stream when everyone's rolling in and I'm saying hellos and introductions and all that stuff. Words. Now I lost my train of thought completely. Who cares? What was I saying? Oh, Jubal Early. Jubal Early in real life was actually a Confederate general or high-ranking officer in the Confederate Army.
Yeehaw.
And if you ever read this fantastic book, The Killer Angels, I might start talking about this book. Ooh, Liver Cirrhosis suggested doing read alouds on 1-7 Live. I might read aloud The Killer Angels because it's historical fiction about the Civil War. It was a big like classroom read for like my brother's age when he was growing up. But it's basically and they're all real, actual historical people that are written about, and their accounts are true to their actual history of what happened to them at Gettysburg, whatever they historically did. And the blanks are filled in with the characters, being fleshed out, all of those elements. But it traces all of that. It traces, the two brothers who were fought on opposite sides and both died. It traces the different levels of decision making and it really gets into the heart of like these guys who are fighting each other were roommates at West Point together and were torn apart by political differences and forced to literally murder each other in the streets. I think that has, or in the fields as it were. I think there's a lot of poignancy in today's society in understanding, the Civil War right now.
Yeah. There was a book that I read. I forget when I read it. I can't remember. It was like 7th grade, it was middle school. But I think it was I forget the name of it. It was like My Brother is a Soldier and do you know it?
My Brother's Keeper?
No, it was like My Brother is a Soldier, or My Brother is in the Confederacy, or something like that. My Brother Sam is Dead. Yes, that is it.
Yep.
That is a good book.
That's another one. That one's very similar. It's like it takes Killer Angels and sucks it down to just that personal kind of level. Yeah. My Brother Sam is Dead. That is a great
a book I think you would actually really enjoy. And don't judge a book by the cover quite literally because of the title. It's called The 7 People You Meet in Heaven. And
I've heard of this book.
You have? It is a very good book. And I'm not a Christian by any means, I'm a Norse pagan, but it's a very moving book. Like, I don't read. I've convinced myself that I can't read, which is untrue, but I just say that I can't read. But this is a book that I have read probably 3 times since I have read it since in high school.
It did occur to me. Sorry, I just had to, because when you said I can't read, it did occur to me once that actually there are no things that I do in my life that require me to be literate right now. Like, I could have not learned to read and I would have still been able to do the things that I do.
Would you though? Like, yeah. read texts and shit?
Yeah, like I'm just saying, like I could still talk at the internet, I could still teach fencing, I could still play music without the ability to read. I'm just saying, I never had to learn. I'm like, everyone proposes put such an emphasis on literacy. I could have been illiterate and I would have been fucking fine. I'm just saying.
But how would you have read the chat or like the little messages that pop up, or read texts?
I would have just said thank you, and if it was a super chat, I would have just copied it and then put it into like a voice thing that'll read it out loud for me.
Yeah. What would you have done about that text that I sent you last night that you cried over? Or what was that, Monday?
I wouldn't have read
Sunday. Well, that's whack.
I'd have just told my phone to read it out loud for me. I'd have my phone read it out loud for me. I would still have
like a text to speech thing.
Dude, in this world, I don't even need that. I just have my phone read everything out loud for me and dictate it right back. What the fuck do I need to read for?
That's fair. That is fair.
See, Doug knows. He knows what's up. Never learn either. Fuck that shit. Oh, I remember why I brought up Jubal early now, because the thing, or the book Killer Angel. So he's in that book, and so Joss Whedon once found out that
Fat dick.
that he was related. He found out he was related to Jubal Early, the guy from the Civil War, and he was like, "That's cool." So he named a character Jubal Early after him. That ended up in the never aired last episode of season 1 of Firefly, Objects in Space. And does that seem right to you? Is Jubal Early's catchphrase, which is the text in my thumbnail. So there you go.
I actually, don't crucify me, but I've never seen Firefly.
You should.
I've been told to watch it. My mother has told me to watch it. I like Nathan Fillion. I like Alan Tudyk. So, and I like something Bachran.
Marina Baccarin.
Yeah, her.
You'll like Jules State in it too. I think you'll really like Kaylee in it. It's like, thing is, it's good. The way I am about like stuff that's good like that. I mean, it is, and based on what I know about you, you will like it. So go watch it because you'll like it. So do it. You know,
It's on the list of the many thousands of shows that I have to watch.
The reason why you should put it to the front though is because it's 14 episodes in a movie, and there's literally no more time you can even commit. So it's not like, oh, I gotta catch up with Dexter. That's like 1,000 seasons. Oh no, I gotta get up to Supernatural. That's the rest of my, my young adult life. No, it's like, oh, I gotta catch up with Firefly. Cool, I'll do it in a day. Like, it's not even a long binge of a weekend.
Supernatural lasted pretty much my entire childhood. I think I was about to turn 18 when the finale of Supernatural ended. That's
kind of crazy when you think about that for some people. I mean, really, the lucky ones were Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles. They just, I mean, how it acting is one of the highest turnover jobs you do. You do the project, it's over. You get another job. You get another job. You get another job. To have that kind of job security for 15 fucking years in the industry, Jesus Christ.
I love both of those men. I would
fantasy three-way right there.
Mm-hmm. See, I'm not a bottom, but like
sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Exactly. You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
You gotta do. Because Jensen Ackles ain't no bottom.
No.
You could probably be the sandwich in between him and Jared, but Jensen,
that would be fine.
Yeah. There you go.
Supernatural is probably Chopin Cake. What's up, Chopin Cake?
You've heard of Chopin Cake so many times, and now you're finally meeting him.
Hello, Chopin Cake.
Oh, you can say you can say it out fully and properly on air. He is a shit pancake, and he deserves to be a shit pancake because he is destroying everything today.
You shit pancake.
Yeah, that's me. Oh yeah, you can swear on my channel. You can say pretty much anything except like slurs that will get me canceled.
Yeah, I don't say slurs.
Yeah,
so.
I didn't think so. So we good. Yeah, I forgot to give you the ground. This is my channel. Anything goes.
I might be a douchebag, but yeah. I'm not a dick.
I should be.
Well, on occasion.
Yeah.
Supernatural is probably the show that kept CW in business.
We were talking to my friend / agent about, he does look so regal there, Doug, about the CW and how useful of a tool it has become for Warner Brothers, because they I guess basically it's one of those, it's they can utilize it to put all of their shows and properties and things that aren't going to make money and aren't trying to profit, and they can use it as basically a loss to balance out their taxes, and they basically help their profit margins in the long run and ease their tax burden like assholes. So
right,
part of the course from Hollywood.
I'm bringing my cat up here.
I have 2 now. Half of mine are present here. Kitty! Oh, it's a tuxedo family. Yes. Oh my God, what a sleepy head.
Watch this. Oh, come here.
Oh, Nugget. Oh, he's a smush. Oh my God.
He will fall asleep like this.
Oh, smush. Oh, he's so cute. What's his name?
This is Zombie.
Zombie. He's so cute.
He is the best boy, even though he's a pain in my ass.
Oh, he looks like my Jane of Soul. Jane, do you want to come and say hello? That will be 3 of my 4 then.
You have 4 cats?
Yep. They're all tuxedo.
You are turning into a crazy cat lady.
Yep. But I have another person to share them with, so.
Oh, that's fair.
There's my
Look, zombie.
twins. I think these two.
Wow, it's weird how much they look alike.
Right? That's why I grabbed him. I was like, you have a tuxedo. Of my 4, one of them is going to have the same face because all 4 of mine have slightly different faces.
Does that one has like back white paws too?
The back white paws, he has the chin white and all that same stuff. Yep. Just like him.
Was that a boy or a girl?
That's a boy. All my guys are boys.
That might be your brother.
Your long lost brother. Unlikely unless your cat was fathered by my friend's dad's ranch cat in Modesto.
I mean, it's a possibility. I found him in a bush in the rain in Alexandria. So
I don't know how he would have gotten from Modesto, California out there as a kitten.
Yeah, this was like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It is weird though. I mean, we used to joke that my old best friend, that her cat and my cat, one of my cats were like distant cousins because they had they were different colors, but they had the exact same face structure. And they acted identical in so many weird ways. It was very strange. Oh yeah. Andy's part of our tuxedo cat family, by the way.
Oh, word.
What's up, Yin said? Welcome. Nerdy gamer gal, welcome. She Pancake can be my other guest tonight. Since he's so regal over there. So violence is a thing. Did you watch the Oscars?
Mm-mm.
So, I mean, everyone has heard what happened now at this point, though, because everyone was talking about it. It was everywhere. One in the chat, if you have not heard what happened at the Oscars, specifically as it relates to Will Smith.
I know what happened, but I watched like the clip of everything that went down. I saw the G.I. Jane joke he did, which I have seen G.I. Jane. That's a good movie.
Good joke, too.
It really was, but I get why Will Smith did it because Chris Rock did sort of cross a line, but the way he went about it was very wrong.
So you are younger than I am. So I just wanted to ask you this since this topic came up and I knew we were going to discuss it tonight. There's one thing I really wanted to ask, which is the world has changed. The values in the world have changed. And so this is an earnest question. This isn't meant to be, a trap or whatever, but this is like when I grew up, it was pretty universally taught. This was how they taught you in schools, in public schools and whatever, that violence is never the answer, that no matter what somebody does or says to you, it is never appropriate to put your hands on them for any reason whatsoever, unless they've already put their hands on you and you're defending yourself essentially. That's
how I was raised.
Okay. So in a decade or so that hasn't necessarily, and now is that something this is the follow-up, right? Because it's clearly people that I'm going to get along with are probably going to have those values. When it comes to your peers, do you feel like all of your peers were taught the same thing? Whether or not they believed it or internalized it, were your peers largely taught the same thing, or were some given the impression that there are justifications for violence when your feelings are hurt enough?
Well, at least around me, they were very like, I don't want to say I was sort of the middle ground, but I was the one that at least tried to keep things from de-escalating, because contrary to popular belief, no matter how much violence that I spew, no matter how much I threaten someone, I'd really rather talk it out with my words instead of fighting, because violence is my last chain of action. And that might be a surprise, like I said, because of how violent I am. But I'm not really I also can't fight for shit. So that's why.
Well, I can't.
but at least around my friends, my friends tried to be very calm, but I did have a lot of friends growing up that it was, yeah, you say that to me, okay, well, I'm gonna Chris Brown you,
Now, again, and that's actually another question because you're kind of closer to that too. That's for me, there was definitely a switch that flipped for a lot of people when we turned 18, right? And oh my God, what baby outlaw? My mother just sprayed her hair with Kaboom by mistake, thinking it was hairspray. Oh no. At least she didn't spray it with Gorilla Glue adhesive. So
Oh,
at least she didn't do
I
that.
cannot tell you how much that pissed me off.
The fact that this woman got all that fucking sympathy and money and all the bullshit for being a goddamn moron. We are rewarding stupidity as a society now. It is not okay.
No, it is not.
Mm.
Fucking,
Yep. I also realized I only sort of introduced you guys. This is Hunter, as I mentioned. We met at HorrorCon in a HorrorHound in Cincinnati, which is a great horror convention. It runs between Cincinnati and Indianapolis. It's been relegated to Cincinnati since the pandemic. They're going back to Indianapolis in 2023, but you don't want to miss September 2022 because Bruce Campbell was just confirmed over the weekend as a guest for that. Also, other confirmed guests include me and Jeff of World Class Bullshitters. So, it's pretty exciting trifecta right there.
I'm not a guest, but I'll be there.
I mean, you might be next time if you get one of the vendor badges with us. You'll be one of our crew. So
that is true.
Eric Black says, Jesse, how did you become a fencing pro? Isn't fencing violent? Well, so now I want to take on my side of that.
I would say inherently. I mean, I don't know much about fencing. I would say it's inherently violent because, it's the practice of sword fighting, but it's not violent because there's a low chance of you getting hurt. And if you do, you're just an idiot.
So if you want me to expand my definition, Eric Black, there are a couple the instances in which it is acceptable to do violence. Self-defense, relegated sporting events, like relegated violence, fighting, whatever, even fight clubs, even like not unsanctioned fight clubs. That's relegated violence.
Don't talk about fight club.
I said clubs, plural, not like a thing, but
I know it was fight club.
I don't know if you saw what Jeff got me, but I have a new tag for my luggage now.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Dude, I wore my Paper Street Soap Company shirt the other day to someplace, and somebody looked at it, a friend of mine, and was like, oh, I use this soap. And I'm like, read the shirt. Keep going. Paper Street Soap Company, Tyler Durden, and fucking, and there's only one. I wish it wasn't even there, but there's only one little piece of branding right at the bottom where it says it. And he was like, ah!
Like, nice. You're just a dumbass.
Yeah, exactly. I believe there's a basic silent rule at live shows this is actually a great point, Zaxy. There are so many ways, back to the odds. There's so many different ways to slice and dice and dissect this incident because there's the lens of, well, he offended her and this and that. And there's also the lens of, this is a comedy show. He's there doing jokes. You're sitting up front. Exactly. The people in the front get roasted. It's the life. The fact that everyone wants to get up in arms and make this, oh, you're making fun of a black woman's hair. How dare you? It's a comedian. It's comedy. Also, did anyone else miss the fact that Chris Rock is black? I don't think Chris Rock has a long history of being horribly racist against black women's hair.
I think it's also the fact is that this also isn't the first time he's bashed her. And
he's deserving of being bashed because she's a scum of the earth, horrible person.
Oh, I'm not saying she's a horrible person, but making fun of, the alopecia part because that's why she's bald. I mean, I get that, if you piss me off enough, yes, I will no holds barred make fun of you. But obviously she's probably very self-conscious about this. She's probably thinking, my career is over because no one's gonna want to hire someone who has no
No!
hair.
False! Wrong! Absolutely could not be farther from the reality of her situation. And this is why I don't have the same sympathy. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off like an asshole.
No, you're good.
Finish your point and then I'll make mine.
Well, no, it's just it's not really my point. It's just assuming what she thinks. I mean, I'm obviously not Jada Pinkett Smith. Look how white I am. But I'm still, she's probably self-conscious about it but so probably that poking fun at that probably wasn't the best choice, and neither was Will Smith's decision to go up on stage and, you know, Chris Brown his ass.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I read some write-up about it where it's like she suffers from alopecia and one of the side effects is hair loss. Like, no, that's not a side effect of alopecia. That's all alopecia.
Yeah.
That's all alopecia is. It's not like it's not like other, I mean, it's not like Hashimoto's syndrome. What is that? Yeah, Hashimoto's. Where you're like, you can't eat, you have a ridiculously restricted diet, and if you fuck up, you'll be really, really sick, and you're in pain all the time, and you don't always know why, because of all the shit going on inside your body, because your body doesn't understand how to, you know, it attacks its own insides. It's not like one of those types of autoimmune diseases where you can't live a normal life, you lose your hair. It sucks. It's terrible, but it's cosmetic. It's purely cosmetic. It's not like you have a lower lifespan. It's not like you're going to get Parkinson's or cancers because of it. You fucking lose. It's not the side of it. That's literally it. That's all it is. She didn't shave her head because she's losing her hair. She shaved her head because she knows she has alopecia and she knows it's coming. And so before she has to deal with the stress and blah of that happening, she elected to just shave her head, which is a thing that women have been doing since Natalie Portman, as this like bold, you know, I'm gonna do like feminist statement thing. It's also a thing that Black women have been doing in droves to do the whole I'm returning to my natural roots, I'm gonna shave it down and grow it in. So it's not like she's alone on this island of being some Black woman with a shaved head. It's not like she's making some big statement and standing out like a sore thumb. She is already mixing in, like, I'm not taking away the sympathy, or I'm not taking away the difficulty that she had to go through, you know, the emotional, you know, the grief of the loss of your hair. It's a part of your body. It's a part of your identity. Sure. I'm not saying it's not hard for her, but it's also relative to anything else you could be making fun of about a lot of the other people in the room. It's not that bad. And also you're talking about somebody with bajillions of dollars who can just buy a perfect likeness of what her hair would have been like and put it on her head. Like any celebrity does that loses their hair or has issues with hair loss. Like how fucking John Cena now has more hair than he did in his 20s, thanks to the magic of hair plugs. Celebrities don't suffer from hair loss. They have the money to fix, just like celebrities don't suffer from AIDS the same way that regular people suffer from AIDS. So she doesn't even suffer from alopecia the way a regular person suffers from alopecia. You are like, this is again, where I think it's just so out of touch. All the things that Jada Pinkett Smith has, alopecia doesn't even chip. She has one of the most famous husbands in the fucking world, and she gets to run around on his ass and fuck whoever she wants to. And she has to deal with not being able to grow her own natural hair. She does not have to deal with not having hair. She has all of the money to have all of the hair she wants to. The only thing she has to suffer from with alopecia is not being able to grow it herself. That's it. And I'm supposed to feel so bad for her and the plight that she represents all this pain and suffering that I'm going to okay somebody committing an illegal act of violence on a public stage. That's how I'm looking at this. That's where I get fired up over this shit. So
Jesse Milestone, everybody. Fucking I felt like I was getting screamed at. Like, goddamn.
Sorry. So Hunter's only ever been around me in the context where I'll get started on one of these, and then one of the people next to me will go, Jesse, we're not live right now. And I'll go, cool. And I'll tone it down. So he's never actually been here where it's been like, no, this is where I get to do this shit. There is nobody to stop me now.
See, I am not that good at creating arguments like that. I'm not good at arguing, really, even though I do it often. But it's just certain shit that I say. Shut you fucking. certain shit that I say make people shut up, so therefore I win by proxy.
There you go. I mean, that's all it takes. So you just got to start hanging around with smarter people, because then this is what I used to do. I wanted to be more clever. I was like, I'm smart as all get out. I can argue with you and put you in the fucking ground, but I'm not that funny. Like, I'm not that good off the cuff. I'm not that witty. I'm not that this and that. So I was like, I started to find people who had those traits and started to hang around with them until I could beat them at their own game. And then I would move on to somebody more clever than them until I could do that. And now I've mastered everybody. And that's, I used fencing referees because they're all a bunch of egotistical, snarky assholes, and I love them. So I've leveled up the ladder and I've beaten them all. The last one I beat doesn't want to hang out with me anymore because now I'm funnier than he is. Yeah, it's great too. So I've then like gone back into like literally have used like my journey of out clevering them to accidentally piss them all off and have now deposed them, and I'm their boss. So, you know.
Most of my friends, and when I say most, I'm
Andy.
God damn it. What was I saying? That totally threw me off topic. What were we on about?
I don't know, but I'm distracted by Ghostly Gay and his ice and rice. Just keep blocking Baby Outlaw. We have a spammer in the chat.
Great.
Yeah, Andy and Sweet Pea, since you guys are both mods, if you don't mind, we'll just keep I got him too.
Most of my friends, thank you, Doug. Most of my friends are like that. They are very, fuck you, you remedial bitch, sort of very good at off the cuff insults. Specifically my friend Chris, probably the funniest dude I've ever met, and the amount of times he has made me just shut up from him insulting me is top tier, and I have still not gotten good enough to beat him, but one day, you cripple. I know you're watching. He has polio.
My one of mine was also in a wheelchair. A good friend Sean, one of my referee buddies, and he loves when I tell the jokes about it cracks me up. I got punished as a referee. I got held back in my referee development when they found my comedy routines that would get put on YouTube because I would joke about refereeing and shit like that. He loved it though. The rest of you, as I mentioned, was like, you're in trouble. The people everybody that I told the jokes about are like, tell those jokes you tell about me. Tell those jokes. I'm like, all right, well, I used to tell the joke about how I got accused of being unprofessional at these events, and the reasons that I was cited as being too unprofessional to have a promotion were that I expressed in a conversation to Stain for the idea that professionality was a requirement of my job. Yeah, wrap your head around that one. That I alleged discrimination against myself, that I accused my employers of discriminating against me, and that was unprofessional of me to do that. I'm like, but you were. Like, I alleged it because it was true. Like, right. Okay. And then the third reason was doing comedy in fucking California, far away from any fencing tournament, that, clearly proved that disparaged referees and blah. And so they were like, you're too unprofessional. So I'm like, really? That's what I got dinged for being too unprofessional for? Not the time I accidentally shouted fuck in front of a bunch of 10-year-olds. Not the time I threw up in the Y12 event because I was too hungover. No, okay, guys. Okay. You want to talk unprofessional? There's a referee who only ever refers to me as boobs. Yeah.
Boobs?
Incredibly unprofessional because everybody can see that my ass is my better feature. Yes. But it's okay. I'm not concerned about him since he is in a chair. First of all, the reason he does it is because they're at eye height since he's in the chair. And I don't really consider it sexual harassment since I'm not afraid of him. I can just find stairs.
God damn it.
Sean loves that joke.
You.
Sean freaking loves it. So also, once Sean looked at me and said, trust me, baby, when I'm done with you, you'd be in the wheelchair.
Oh.
Yep. I was like, I'm going to bed
Yikes.
now. Good night.
Yikes,
Sean,
bud.
Sean used to do that to me after I would drink with the old Epé refs and the older Epé refs and all that stuff and hang out at the bars and all that. And they would buy me drinks. It was very, very nice. And Phil Cage was like, I was nodding off until I heard boobs. Yeah, it was my nickname for a while.
Boobs,
boobs, actually.
Boobs wake everybody up.
Boobs are great. Shake them if you got them. Wee. So yeah, no, he's yeah, Sean is great. Sean is wonderful. We love it. Oh yeah, no, so he used to do that to me. We would all be drunk leaving the bar. Where he'd be like, you want to go to my room? And I'd be like, I don't know if you're kidding, Sean. Are you really propositioning me? Like, are we joking with each other? Or do I need to actually turn you down right now? I don't know. I don't understand. He'd just be like, this is my room number, I'm just waiting. Where are you? And I'm like, and then I'd go to bed. And the next day he'd be like, I waited for you. Where were you? I'm like, you were kidding, right? And he's like, my heart's broken. I'm like, stop. Oh my God, the fucking return of the bots. We are getting spammed hardcore. Sweepy has great boobs. She says, I'll be able to corroborate that fact in a couple of days. I got to meet Sweepy in person in a couple of days. I'm so excited.
Well, I'm sure they're top tier quality. I myself have never seen them because I do not know this person. And but congratulations. I applaud you.
Hunter's young enough to intuitively know that he has to be careful when he talks about women or he might get canceled. He's of that generation. Yeah. So the rules are different for you guys.
Oh yeah.
So the thing that I really find upsetting with this whole Will Smith, like the comedy line, right? So I have my many lines, many reasons why this is a problem for me. One, the line of, I don't feel that bad for Jada Pinkett Smith. Let's all actually talk about what she suffers from. And let's all get over this thing where like, we want to give a regular human being who, a regular couple at a bar, if somebody came over and cracked a joke about the chick being bald and the guy turned around and slapped him in the face and the police got called and the other guy wanted to press charges for assault, cops would not give a shit. Oh, but she has alopecia. I can't believe they said that to her with alopecia. I don't give a shit. You assaulted somebody. That's assault. You're going to jail. Will Smith does this on live TV and it's fine.
Because he's a celebrity.
Adam Baldwin shoots somebody to death. And in the aftermath, we have Hilaria, which is the worst name ever, running around and wanting to tell people, guys, don't rile him up on social. Like, guys, stop making fun of him. Stop riling him up. You know how he gets. You know how his mental health is. We have to care. Kim Kardashian, I want everyone to have sympathy for Kanye. Assaulting fans outside of clubs now. Writing threatening lyrics, threatening Pete Davidson's life. Let's have sympathy for his mental health. When a regular person, when a friend of mine who suffers from bipolar disorder snaps, loses it, and does something inappropriate, a friend of mine who's dealing with the fact that she may have Asperger's, and that may be the reason why she doesn't handle changes in her life well and has been having trouble transitioning in college. She has severe depression. I don't know if she's diagnosed bipolar or not, but it's severe depression. And she was on a sports team at her college. And she was getting good grades. She was no grades issues, but she was having some issues with her emotional stability. And so her team, for her own good, asked if she, for her own good, would please take a couple months off, which plunged her into incredibly deep depression because it took her one lifeline away from her. That's what happens to regular people when they act out, when they have mental health issues. They get told, you're the problem, go away. They get erased. They get locked up. Celebrities shoot people, hit people, attack people. How long do you... Ezra Miller's movie's not getting pulled. Ezra Miller went apeshit in a bar in Hawaii last night, attacked somebody doing karaoke, attacked somebody else, and he's in jail now. This is strike 2 for him. He choked somebody out, some chick out in Iceland
I saw that
year,
video.
the year before. And what? And we're going to we're going to hear some story in the next couple days about how much stress he's under because his identity and his blah, how hard it is for him to be a young queer actor in Hollywood today and how much stress he's under. And we all have to forgive him. Otherwise we're homophobes. If if you had an identity crisis that was related to however you feel about life, the world, your personal identity, whatever it may be, if you had a crisis related to your personal identity, let's say you were having one that party at HorrorHound, you were having a moment because people, this, that, anxiety, whatever, maybe something else, who knows, and you decided the way you were going to handle that was somebody bumped into you and you were going to shoulder check them into the wall and spill their drink and fucking, smack them in the face. The fuck would have happened to you?
I would have gotten banned from HorrorHound.
You would have never been allowed to go again.
Nope.
And instead, we, the public, are being asked to accept these behaviors that we ourselves are not allowed to do, and being told why we should be sympathetic for the people getting away with shit that we're not allowed to get away with. That's what I don't fucking get.
Because they have money and power and we don't.
Yep. So that's that second layer. That's my only... I'm just like, as I keep going, I'm like more layer. I had to scribble these points down as I hit them because I'm going to be making a video about this, guys. If anybody misses this or doesn't have the attention span for this many straight hours, I will be making content. So as I organize these thoughts here, I will be writing them down. Just give me a minute here. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, I'm also going to see if Jeff wants to come take a hit with me. Take a hit when you have a moment. He's working on his next comic over there. So, okay, that was my points. Points one was...
Jesse, I'm dying.
I see that you're dying. What are you dying of?
Coughing.
I know, but what caused your coughing? Anything exciting or just boring?
Yes.
Oh, the exciting ones. Good.
It's called Skittles.
Oh, I love Skittles. Great strain. Now, pieces does not affect Jada like it affects other people.
Pretty much. That, and I'm just a little bitch.
Forgive.
Pick it, pack it, fire it up, come along, and take a hit from the bong. Put the pipe down just for a second. I love that song.
Yep.
Taste the rainbow, feel the rainbow.
Thank you for being excellent filler right now. Health.
I'll do my funny. I'll do the only funny things about me, which is my impressions as filler. And I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that.
That's fair.
Puke the rainbow, dude. Ask my mom. She every time she has Skittles, she tastes the rainbow. And like in every which worst way possible.
I love the rainbow. This is actually helping because I'm like 1 point larger implications. 1 point larger implications.
Did Miller say, does Barry Allen have to choke a bitch?
My fear of
Ezra Miller dodging charge.
God,
Ezra Miller dodging charges like, my name is Barry Allen and I'm the fastest man alive.
So that's what I wanted to get into. My next thing, and it's really interesting. You're the perfect guest for this topic too, and not just, HorrorHound. You're the only other person I can talk about that right now. But no, you're really for this stuff because you're hitting. We're very, very similar, and it's funny because like a couple of the places where we're different though, we still come to the same. We still feel very similarly about what it all means. And that's like where you talk about violence, and how your relationship with that. I love violence. I also threaten it often. I do know how to fight, which is why I'm very, very careful and choosy. When sorry, just come out when you're ready. I'm just letting Jeff know he can come do the wheeze whenever he wants. Come out when you're ready.
Will I get to say hi to Jeff?
Yeah, of course. He's just in the other
Oh,
room. I mean, we do live together, so you know,
figured.
that's the joy of being adults is that dude. We were sitting in the Airbnb at one point, smoking weed, kicking back.
How was
fucking
that, by the
around.
way?
Amazing. And just looking at each other like we just get to do this. Like we just get to do whatever we want. And no one tells us no. So, which is another reason thing too, where it's like it's not that hard to live within big societal rules and not be an asshole. It's like if you don't fuck around, being an adult is great. I'm not even where I want to be in terms of my income bracket and the things I have. I'm still like living pretty stretched right now because of inflation, life, the things I'm trying to get rolling. But it doesn't like even without that, even not being a wildly rich, successful celebrity, you have so much freedom to control your life and how you want it to be as a fucking adult. You make choices. If you choose to be miserable and you want to be an asshole and you want to take that out on everybody, that's great. That's you're doing that. But that's why I've lost so much sympathy for people who want to take their shit out on other people. I'm like, I have sympathy for you and your shit and anything you're going through. But the second you want to hurt people around you, especially people who try to help you, I'm like, no, I'm just losing the part where Jada Pinkett Smith deserves my sympathy, I guess is really what I'm trying to say. But beyond that, somebody else brought up earlier, protect the comedians. We already have stripped away so much of protections for comedians. It used to be comedians could pretty much say what they wanted with impunity. That was the one venue where you could say what you wanted with impunity. Hey, Greg Kirby, what's good? And that forum, that's gone now. Comedians are just as cancelable. They're just as susceptible to be. Comedians are cancelable over shit they said years ago. They can't
Louis
be there.
C.K. I mean, granted, what he did was shitty.
Louis C.K. is a pig, and I
Okay.
think
Let me find a Sarah
Kevin Hart.
Silverman.
Kevin Hart, Sarah Silverman.
Kevin
I know the list goes on and we're just blanking on everybody right now, but no, everybody with whatever your old tweets. Eddie Murphy, they tried to cancel Eddie Murphy at one point. It's yeah. That we've already taken that away. That is bad. That's something that damages our society. That's one of the many reasons. Taking our freedom of speech out of our comedy is one of the things that damages our ability to have free discourse. If you can't cross the line, you can't truly know where it is. You're always going to, if you say we can't ever cross, nobody's allowed to cross that line. There's a line and no one is ever allowed to cross it. Then we don't know where it is. We can't find it. So you always have to just to make sure you don't cross it. You just have to keep moving it closer and closer and closer. And then the realm of what's decent, what you can and can't say, oh my God, like this crazy hot button political correctness we live in suddenly gets narrower and narrower, more and more restrictive, and everything goes nuts. So that we lose that when we took away a comedian's ability to say whatever they want to say, we lose that. Now we're taking it one step further. Now we're saying that not only can comedians be censored, punished in their professional sense when they cross a line, when they do bad things, now they can be the justifiable victims of violence. It is okay to attack them if they're too offensive.
Right.
Which then bridges right into the gap of we have now normalized, we have now created a behavior, a non-violent behavior where violence is an acceptable response. If you look at the response online to this right now, everyone's wrapping it up with talking about a black woman's hair is racist and misogynistic, and the fact that she had alopecia is insensitive. The whole Oppression Olympics triple whammy right here. Woman, black, alopecia, all of those oppression points for Jada. Doesn't matter who she is, how she acts, or what kind of person she is. All her oppression points stack up to where she is so protected that if you make fun of her, people around her, not even her, people around her are allowed to do violence on her behalf.
Greg Kirby brings up a good point. He says, "How is talking about hair racist?" And I agree with that. How is it racist? I mean, it's hair. Shave it off, it grows back.
Exactly. Not Jada
Like,
Pinkett Smith's.
Oh, Jesse. Jesse.
Fuck it,
And it kind of ties into me with another argument of mine that I firmly believe in. I feel like anybody should have whatever hairstyle they want. As I'm talking about, like, dreads, shit like that. Like, if a white person wants to have dreads, go ahead, fucking let them. It's just hair. It
Yep.
can grow back. And
Yep.
I mean, and it goes into the argument of cultural appropriation, and which I think the idea of cultural appropriation is stupid, and I might get canceled for this.
Get canceled. Who gives a shit?
Exactly. What left do I have to lose? Because if we're meaning to separate these cultures and no one's allowed to mingle and, you know, take stuff from different cultures and put it in their own and make everything a beautiful pattern, isn't that segregation? And isn't that what we pretty much fought against for years? And isn't that pretty much just stepping back America in several thousand progressive steps?
It is so refreshing to hear you say that. It is so refreshing to hear you say that, because I've been saying that for years. I mean, and it's just, it makes me feel less insane to hear somebody else look around at the world and go, wait a second, you mean when only you can practice your culture and only you can practice yours and we're not allowed to share or mix or any of that? Is that not segregation? Is that not exactly? It puts your mind in a complete loop. Exactly how you said it. That's exactly how I've been saying it. The exact logical train. And it's that. You don't get there by sitting around and thinking these deep. Oh, Jeff, I want to show you something real quick and steal a kiss.
Hi, Jeff.
Hunter says hi. Hunter said this, and that was my reply. Can I have a kiss?
Sure.
Wait, what did you show him?
Oh, I tweeted out.
Oh.
I tweeted, quote, "It's just hair, it grows back," and my reply, "Not for Jada Pinkett Smith. I'm a bad person. I have no scruples. It already has 2 likes. I've done the right thing." Oh, Shrebbles, thank you for the first super chat of the night. Thank you. You guys are poor tonight. That's okay. I wouldn't imagine if Chris Rock called Jada Baldy Locks. Oh my god. Oh, I couldn't imagine if Chris Rock had called Jada Baldy Locks. Oh my god, that would have been such a fucking That's her new name, Baldy Locks. Greg Kirby's starting to stream next month. How about it?
This honestly might be the kickstart of my live streaming career. If I can get some people from here to chime in, I might start on Twitch.
Yo, do 1-7 live. I'm getting my crew for May. Did I tell you about that?
I forgot I can do that on here. I'll do that too.
I've got I'm looking in. I think it'll work with StreamYards too, so that'll make it really easy for a lot of people. Baldy Locks canon. That's what's up. Jada Pinkett Smith is officially canon. That Jada Pinkett Smith, everything that happens on Mindless Entertainment is canon. On the Mindless Mob, everything that happens in Mad Libs. Also, by the way, we're gonna play Mad Libs to end the stream. Just so you know, we're not anywhere near the end, but when we get there, that's how we end my streams. We play Mad Libs. Zach, I think I know where the one is. I think I know where the Oh, Zach, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I still love you even when you're poor. You know I love you no matter what. And to make it up to you, Zach, I'm pretty sure I know where your Mad Libs is, and I'll read it for you. I won't spoil it for Hunter, but oh, do you want to be initiated into the Mindless Mob?
Oh boy, sure.
Okay, so it's very simple. So here's the initiation ritual. Repeat after me. In the name of the God Empress.
In the name of the God Empress,
I heretofore
I heretofore
pledge my sword
pledge my sword
to the mindless mob
to the mindless mob
and salute the mighty bovine.
and salute the mighty bovine.
And the way you perform the proper salute is you take your tongue and you try to stick it up your nose. That's what my cow is doing on the channel. Yeah,
I can't.
it's all right. You
I
did a
can't
good
do that.
job. You did a good job. I don't know if you seen the cow. That's the picture on my channel. But as a picture I took of a cow in New Zealand that was sticking its tongue up its nose at me, and except for every time I tried to take a picture, it would stop. And so the picture of it with the tongue up its nose, and the reason why it's terrible and grainy as shit always, although I've gotten it enhanced a decent amount, was that I had to actually take a video of him doing the tongue thing and then take a still from the video because fuck that cow. Anyway, all right, now you have 3 questions you must answer.
Yep.
And that's it. And if you fail to answer those questions, you have to do an orgasm noise. So describe in whatever detail you're comfortable your worst romantic or sexual encounter ever.
Oh, my grandmother and my mother are watching. That's fun.
Hi, Hunter's grandma and mom.
You guys
He's
might want to
fully like
stop
him.
watching for like a while.
Cover your ears. He's an
Yeah.
adult. You can't control his decisions now, but
No, you really can't.
But it's up to you if you want to hear what's about to come out of his mouth.
And it's not the fact that it was the worst, but it was the funniest.
Ha! Yes.
And I told you this at the con. I think I told you and Jeff.
You might have.
So I'm not telling anybody name specifically, but we were doing our thing.
Oh, is this the one that just happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were doing our thing, right? We were in a car. In the middle of us doing our thing, I shit you not, Let's Get It On by Marvin Gaye starts playing. And I swear to shit, we both looked at each other and just started losing our ever-loving mind, because immediately after was Sexual Healing. And it was just the best time that I've ever had. I don't really have too many bad sexual experiences, but I just, yeah.
I once had sex with somebody and we spent the entire time quoting Batman Forever or going, "Where is she?" Yeah. The words joygasm was uttered. Holy Rusted Metal Batman was shouted at one point.
Holy rust. I actually say that on pretty much on a daily basis.
Good.
Like I'll go, Holy Rusted Metal Batman.
Oh, dude, the thing is, if you're ever around me, I'll go, huh? And then you just have to follow it up with the island. It's made of metal and full of holes, holy. And then I'll go, ugh. Because the thing that makes that line so great is the fact that Batman just no-sells it. Val Kilmer's just straight up like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then Robin explains it. And then Batman just no-sells it again.
It's not even
Holy Rusted Metal Batman. What the
fuck?
fuck?
It's not even Batman. It's actually Val Kilmer breaking character. Like,
exactly.
Chris O'Donnell has fucking lost it. Exactly. What is he going on? Please, I really wanted Marlon Wayans as Robin, please.
No, I love Chris O'Donnell as Robin. He's delightful.
I low-key, though, kind of wanted to see what Marlon Wayans would have been like.
It would have been really interesting. It would have worked, and it would have been totally different, but it would have worked.
I would have been here for it.
Jeff and I have been, actually, it's funny, Jeff and I have been talking about that a lot lately. Some of that stuff. All right, two more questions, and then you're initiated.
Yes, ma'am.
What is something you've always felt underappreciated for?
Oh, God. You're going to ask a teenager what I feel underappreciated for? Are you kidding me?
Wait, Bill, you've never seen Batman Forever? Bro.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You've never seen Batman Forever. What the hell? You know what really grinds my gears? You, America. You. How have you never seen Batman Forever? It's one of the most famous Batman movies of all time, for Christ's sakes. What the hell?
Keep it in your pants, Peter. Honestly though, I love Batman Forever. I think it's amazing. I think it's really, really stands out as the best Batman movie, and I will go to bat for that and die on that hill.
What, Batman Forever?
Yeah, I did a meant to offend video about why it's the best Batman movie.
Okay,
Dan
I agree but disagree at the same time. I love Batman Forever because it was a childhood movie for me. I had it on VHS back when my mom had one in the early 2000s because we were too poor to buy a DVD player. So we bought one at a freaking yard sale, I think. And one of the VHS tapes was Batman Forever. And I thought it was, thanks, Dan, very much. I have no friends, so that's all I do.
It's appreciated in the chat, so.
But
Lois, this is not my Batman glass.
Batman, I used to think Val Kilmer was a really good Batman and a really good Bruce Wayne.
He is.
But the Batman isn't blonde.
Yeah, but that's honestly, I agree that aesthetically, Bruce Wayne should not be blonde, but that is really it. That's the only thing I will ding Val Kilmer for in that role. The hair's wrong.
That's I agree, because Val Kilmer is very charming in that role. Bruce Wayne's very charming.
Mm-hmm.
Val Kilmer's very, I wouldn't say egotistical, but he's still very up there for himself, sort of like
he's the most well-adjusted Bruce Wayne that we get, really. You know,
at least we don't have to hear him talk anymore. So that's the thing is, the reason why I like this Bruce Wayne is I think it's a realistic one. I think that Michael Keaton's, it's a little Tim Burton's reclusive Batman. Bruce Wayne is a little too over the top with the reclusiveness. There's a little too much of a weirdo. Val Kilmer's Bruce Wayne reminds me of the animated series one, where he's personable, he's outgoing, but he still has his demons and his darkness, you know. But it's sort of, he keeps it bubbling under the surface. To me, the Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne is a little too over the top, a little too extreme. There's nothing left of subtlety. He's got the big outgoing party boy, love my life, blah blah blah. But then his demons are wild. It's balancing out the demons, and they can't keep shit together, and the girl and all that stuff. Whereas, like, I like the sophisticated Bruce Wayne. He's dealing with the shit. We have a psychiatrist that he constantly revisits to talk about his nightmares and crap. It goes, like, psychologically deep, but it just takes a different approach. It doesn't flash it all on the screen for you. People forget how much depth is in that movie because how much camp is also there. But it's not Batman and Robin. It's not nonstop campy retarded scene after retarded scene. The camp balances out with the darker, deeper moments. This movie is a look at Bruce Wayne's twisted soul, because usually you have a villain that is reflective of Batman in some way, because everyone knows Batman is the face. They fucking spell it out for you on the nose. Don't you love when they do that, when Origin things want to spell it? Literally in the Batman movie, they say it out loud. Batman is the identity. Bruce Wayne is the mask. The thing we all know, we all talk about. In case you're too stupid to figure that out, they literally say it to you in that movie, which is correct. Which is why Batman villains are reflections of Batman and who he's become, who he's been going on the journey of being the Batman, what his work does as a positive or negative impacts on Gotham. You know, some of his villains are the byproduct style ones. A lot of them are just, I'm a vigilante too. I'm, so how are we different? All that attitude. They're reflections of Batman. That's what Tommy Lee Jones's Two-Face is in Batman Forever, which is why he's the simpler character with the arc that kind of happened beforehand. Is he's propped up in there to give us that recognizable, familiar villain that reflects Batman. And then we have Edward Nygma, the Riddler, who is the reflection of Bruce Wayne.
and the parallel journeys that the two of them go on in order to get the things that they need to get. It's very, there's a lot of parallelism in this. Fucking the showrunners who are writing the Lord of the Rings TV show could take a look, since they're obsessed with parallelism and inverted parallelism and chiasmus. There's a fuck ton of parallelism in Batman Forever. And that's why I think it's a brilliant movie. I mean, little things, the doll, the dream doll. You're coming off of a scene where we watch Bruce Wayne watching himself in a news clip as Batman, failing to save Harvey Dent, which is why he becomes Two-Face, going to him dealing with his demons, and the psychiatrist gives him a dream doll that happens to be a yin-yang, black and white style, half and half, like Harvey Two-Face. I mean, that's not hokey imagery. That's not hokey, crappy writing. That's solid. That tracks. That's better than what they're putting in Marvel today.
Now, don't get me wrong. I love Tommy Lee Jones. He's one of my top 10 favorite actors. He's been in a bunch of my favorite movies. Worst possible fucking choice for Harvey Dent, in my opinion. It's so weird seeing Tommy Lee Jones in such a very role.
But that's why I love it, though, because he commits. Now, it's also always going to be hard for me because that movie came out in 95. I was 5. I was a Batman fanatic by that point. Batman was everything for me. This is probably, I think it's the first Batman movie I saw in theaters. I don't even know if I'd seen 89 yet. I might have been allowed to watch it on TV before or something. But this was whatchamacallit. This was Tommy Lee Jones. This is before Men in Black even came out. So that was my introduction to Tommy, and I hadn't seen any of his, more adult movies. This was my introduction to Tommy Lee Jones. So I will never have that jarring effect of like, oh, him in this movie, because like that's how I was introduced to him. He gives it 110% commitment. That's reasons too that I'm like, people will knock this movie and ding this movie, and I'll go, you go to the behind the scenes, it's even more impressive because you're talking about two guys with great chemistry. Oh my God, the chemistry between Two-Face and the Riddler in that movie is so much fun.
Which is so funny because Tommy Lee Jones hated. Yeah, well, exactly. It's not even Jim Carrey couldn't stand Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones couldn't stand Jim Carrey. He thought he was a goof.
He couldn't sanction his buffoonery.
Exactly.
Those were his exact words.
And yet, but that, I mean, talk about the consummate professionalism of Tommy Lee Jones. Because does any of that judgment show in the movie, in the role? It does fucking not. I will tell you that because I've watched the movie more recently than you probably, because I watch it every couple of days.
I actually watched it about a month ago on Hulu, and I couldn't finish it because it was worse than I remember. But like, I still appreciate the movie because it's part of my childhood. But it was
I've
way
probably
worse
watched
than
that
I
movie like
remember.
20 times in the past couple of years. That movie's amazing.
Honestly, okay. 2 things. First off, Aaron Eckhart did a really good job as Two-Face. I really liked his Two-Face. I didn't like the fact that he was also blonde.
I really liked his Harvey Dent. I did not like his Two-Face though. Once he became Two-Face, I was like, as the character they wrote, I thought they could have written into a good Two-Face. The Two-Face they created, I really didn't like.
To me, it just seemed like it was an angry Aaron Eckhart. And I feel like if he wanted to do Two-Face a whole better, yeah, Arnold was kind of a bad pick. But I feel like if he wanted to do so much better, he could have, brought in like this grief that we know Harvey probably has after losing Rachel and losing the entire side of his face. Really, the only thing they did was like, oh, I'm mad now, and I'm going to take it out on the people who wronged me.
Exactly.
Also, I love The Dark Knight, probably one of my favorite Batman movies of all time. I think Christian Bale's Batman is entirely overrated.
I hate Christian Bale's Batman and Bruce Wayne. I can't stand either. I
like his Bruce. I kind of liked his Bruce Wayne because his Bruce Wayne was a douchebag, but he was nice in the, he gives to the community sense.
Let me put this. I don't like his Begins Bruce Wayne. I like his Dark Knight Bruce Wayne. Just his Dark Knight Bruce Wayne is fine for me. But yeah, I can't stand his Batman. I think that voice is retarded. I hate that Ben Affleck copies that in the next one. I think that's the worst part of the Batfleck, because I'm actually okay with Batfleck. I like Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne a ton. That to me is animated series Bruce Wayne. It looks like him too. I mean, it fucking looks like him. But they went with the stupid ass voice as his Batman, and it's just like, although
I kind of wish he never got implants, like teeth implants, because I kind of want to see what Bruce Wayne looked like with chiclet teeth.
no.
It was so funny seeing him as Daredevil and have chiclet teeth. The dude has such small teeth.
It's true. It's true.
Bale's better
That's a
than-
fairly accurate assessment. That's a fairly accurate assessment. I really just
I liked the Patterson film. I did. I liked
a lot
the
of
fact
things about it.
I loved the fact that they made Bruce Wayne sort of the kind of guy like, yeah, he's lost his parents, which were two big people in his life, and he's also finding out that they're not as good as, and I get that's not how it really was in the comics, but he's also finding out that they're not as good as he all thinks they are, and that the entire world around him is fake and everything around him is crumbling. So of course he's going to be more sad and, brooding. But I mean, the action was great. I loved the fact that, because you got to keep in mind, it was only year 2 of Batman. And I loved the fact that Batman got kind of the shit kicked out of him. Yeah, the ending was very rushed. That ending felt very rushed.
We also need to talk about this thing in Hollywood now where it's like a movie's great, and then all of a sudden you get to the climax and they want to like beat you in the face with a hammer full of like messaging that's not even consistent with the rest of the movie all of a sudden, and you're like, what is this? But then when actually you trace back the movie, it's in there. Anyway, sorry.
But like, of course he's going to be sad and brooding because the entire world that he has known since he was a child has kind of come crumbling down.
Yeah. No, Macawal, you're right. The Batfleck's voice was synthesized, and that was their stupid justification for why they synthesized his voice to still sound like the retarded angry one that we used to get. It was like, for some reason, they were like, oh, we want to justify using this stupid voice again, so we'll put a bat synthesizer in here and then make it just sound that yelly, angry thing again. And it was like, it was cool, though, having the synthesizer. I think that is smart, and that's what Batman should have. But his synthetic voice should sound cool. It shouldn't sound like the synthetic version of, I'm not wearing hockey pants.
Okay, that line did honestly get an honest chuckle out of me, and it still does.
The line
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
The line is fine. The delivery is retarded. It's just the way it's just the voice. The way it sounds like he's trying to do Marlon Brando on steroids.
It's because I think Christian Bale has that very signature lisp. And I wouldn't even say it's a lisp. He's got like a very frontal.
I actually think it's just he's trying to do an American accent and yell, and it's hard. It's much harder to preserve the accent you're trying to do when you're doing it at different volumes. I think that's it.
I forget which Batman movie it was. It might have been Begins or The Dark Knight, but it was where he showed up to a hotel with 2 models, and they got into like this water bath in this hotel, and the dude was like, that's not a pool and your friends don't have swimwear, and he just straight up buys the hotel. I forget which one that is, but that is like the biggest dick energy thing you could ever do.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I always kind of loved about Bruce Wayne, is that he did too much, but it was great. It was what he did was great. What too much he did was great,
Yeah.
But besides that, it was just military Batman. That's all it was.
Yeah.
And that's why I really don't like Christian Bale as Batman anymore, because it's just military Batman. It's just Batman with.
I don't like this overly militant Batman thing either.
Honestly, I think the best Batman I have ever seen isn't even live action. It's the video games.
I mean, I'm animated series.
Or the animated series. Yeah, Kevin Conroy. Kevin Conroy's Batman Mark Hamill's Joker, Holly.
Oh, dude, Mark Hamill's Joker is everything.
I love those two actors together.
I could not abide Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne. There was no personality. There was no distinction between his Bruce Wayne and his Batman. And we just, went over how, Batman is the character, Bruce Wayne is the mask. And there's no Bruce Wayne in this movie was just a reflection or a shadow of Batman. There was no distinction in their actions and their more. I mean, you really have this beautiful thing with superheroes where their identities, it's almost like two different people, to the point where it's like what one believes, what they believe is one, they almost don't believe is the other. It's a sort of almost a split personality extreme. And that's gone in this movie. That's not even there. It's not even a part of this movie because there's no split. There's no war between Batman and Bruce Wayne. There's no inner battle between the two people whatsoever. I'm like, how am I watching a Batman movie that doesn't address the struggle between Batman and Bruce Wayne even once? That is a huge ding for me. And two, I can see a universe in which this Batman, a Christian Bale Batman, learning that his daddy wasn't all he was cracked up to be and facing that and acknowledging his privilege, maybe works. But this little dweeby Batman that all we see is him getting kicked around and shit on, I think I might have mentioned this a little bit earlier, and we were talking about this, you and I, over the weekend, where Batman, to me, represents something very specific in the superhero realm. If you look at superheroes, it's actually there's a really great book that goes around at conventions. It's a psychologist who wrote a book on how superheroes and fantasy help us deal with mental illness. And she has a great segment, a story of somebody. I think she works as a psychiatrist and an instance, or psychologist, an instance where a girl that who had gone through a rape, who had been raped, and didn't know how to. She didn't feel like herself anymore, but she couldn't get normal and she couldn't get right. But she couldn't figure out how to talk to her parents about it. Just thought, there was something wrong with her. They didn't know how to fix her and that she should be over by now and all this stuff. I didn't know how she was feeling. And she watched Buffy, and it was, I guess, one of the seasons. I haven't seen this far into the show, but where like she turns into a vampire or something herself, and then is trying to reconcile this identity of becoming the thing that she hates and not being able to talk about it and deal with it. And like when she becomes herself again, like not being over it and having kind of PTSD from it and dealing with all that. And that was her big breakthrough in learning how to deal with this and being able to talk about it and what she was feeling with. And that was the only way she was able to connect with her family over that, was seeing that reflected in a character. Buffy wasn't raped. Buffy wasn't taken advantage of sexually, but she had her power and her agency taken away from her. She was forced to become something that she had a judgment about or hated, and had to deal with that. And that parallel journey helped somebody who went through a very real human trauma get over that. And so I think it's really important, before you change fundamentals about who these characters are and where they come from, to understand what they actually represent. They don't represent their skin color or their written sexuality or gender or whatever is on paper. They represent something allegorical. Spider-Man represents the everyman. Spider-Man is one of the most enduring, lasting characters that will ever be in superheroes, because he is everybody. Anybody can be Spider-Man. That was a fact they were able to market and sell him on well before the diversity push of the late 90s. The Spider-Man behind a mask can be literally anybody. You can swap out Peter Parker for anything you want. Superman, who is whatchamacallit? Superman is the modern Achilles, the person who has everything but one fatal flaw. It's a classic Grecian, tragic hero. And everything about his story is figuring out how to examine and exploit that, or find out how do you compromise somebody who's not compromisable. That is, it can be incredibly, that can be very relational to people who feel misunderstood. I think Superman is the people who feel misunderstood, people who don't, who do one thing, live that double life, who do on one hand, are capable of so much more than they're given credit for, as Clark Kent, or on the other hand, can't ever not be, can't shed that. I think Encanto recently in Disney addresses a very similar thing with Luisa, the super strong sister. She gets her whole song about the pressure making her crack, and how, being the super, having a great talent or ability can come with the pressures, all of that, this being a superhuman, being a leader, being those things, what that comes with. That's Superman. Batman is the invisible illness. Batman is mental health, is chronic pain conditions, is things you can't see, trauma, PTSD,
Grief.
grief, suffering you can't see, but that affects you every day, that you carry with you and can't just get past. When you erase his legacy, when you make his movie, his character, about dealing with his privilege and facing his privilege and facing that mommy and daddy weren't as great as you thought they were, it's not about him dealing with his grief. It's not about him getting past it or moving on from that. It's not about him balancing the person who will always be fractured by that grief with the man who has to constantly try to become whole. His story now is simply about acknowledging his privilege. Yeah, you don't have real problems. Your grief, you're just a whiny little brat. How is his grief dealt with? Every scene we see his grief, it's him throwing it in Alfred's face and Alfred throwing it right back, going, "You're not the only person who lost people in that incident." And so we're being constantly reminded that he doesn't have a reason or a justification for us to feel sympathetic for him. He should confront. He's have his privilege being called on by Catwoman. You should care about us and my hooker friends and this and that. Everyone wants to call him on his privilege and tell him why he's wrong. So we're supposed to leave thinking Batman isn't justified in feeling the way he feels. Batman isn't justified in having a chip on his shoulder. Batman isn't justified in feeling misunderstood or any of those things. So the allegory, the message we take away from that is anybody watching with depression, with anxiety, with PTSD, with chronic pain condition, with endometriosis, who feels seen by Batman, by a character who, like them, suffers silently and invisibly, is no longer seen. Is now being told they need to deal with their own shit. They are the problem and need to get the fuck over it. That is why I have a serious problem with that movie.
That's fair. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I don't look at stuff that deep because I'm just not that smart enough to. But it was a visually pleasing movie, so
it was. It looked great.
Primate Lightning.
No, the thing is,
pretty color make me happy.
I said I'm conditioned to look for this stuff though, because I've been seeing it since college when I went to school with a lot of very like-minded people, and some of those like-minded people wanted to be more oppressed than everybody else, so they had to invent identity politics. I was there at ground zero with this shit happening, with people unironically calling themselves social justice warriors, and I'm like, what do you fucking fight for? And so there's a couple giveaways. There's a couple things that sort of like would stick out like a sore thumb. And then when I went back and dug them out, I was like, oh, that's why. One of the ones from this movie, this is a message that comes up in these movies that I have such a problem with. It came up in an Oscar short from last year too. And I have such a problem with this message in modern social justice. The moment where the mayor, the would-be mayor, wants to come out and say, or she's going to come out and stand in front of everybody and comfort them, even though Gordon says, no, you'll get shot. And she's like, well, fuck it. I'll do it anyway. It's important. I need to bring people together right now. And she goes out and she gets shot. That's not the way we used to see that trope unfold. In the past, we would have seen her walk out. We would have seen the gunman look at her. We would have seen her she would have had the chance to say something, or they would have locked eyes and had a moment of humanity, and they would have stood down. We'd have this moment of humanity that said, we're just like each other. We don't want to do this. We don't want to be these monsters, and we can come together. Instead, what you had was, I stood out here as a proud Black woman and got immediately shot for it. What you had is the message, do not reach across the aisle. Do not try to make friends. Do not try to understand them. Do not try to treat them like we're all the same. Treat them like the enemy, because they are the enemy. And the first chance they get, they will hurt you. So strike them preemptively. The second they show their true colors, they show that they're not on your side. They show that they're a little, misogynistic or wrong think. You should walk up and strike them down immediately, because that's your job. And here suddenly we have a moment that feels not that all different from, I mean, look at that. Like, you have a scene in Batman the representation of the left walks out on stage to try to bring people together in a moment of crisis, and is immediately, without given a chance for understanding or whatever, struck down by the opposite side. The Oscars, you have somebody who doesn't represent this version of progressivism trying to bring people together, make jokes in a night of celebration, without even given the chance to defend himself, explain it, talk it out, deal with it in a civil manner. He crossed the line. He's the enemy. He's the bad guy. No chance. Violence. Done. Put in your place. It's really weird how parallel those moments are. And how, you have the Batman movie with this certain people seeing a social justice slant slipped into it, one that normalizes violence. And then all of a sudden, a month later, you have an incident in the same industry that normalizes violence. This message keeps coming up and up again, which is, if I don't like you, if you've demonstrated you think wrong and you're the enemy, it's okay for me to hurt you.
Life imitates art.
Exactly.
And I think that's the big message here.
Exactly. And that is,
it might not be, exactly, Will Smith didn't Lee Harvey Oswald him, but he, it was still a act of violence.
And you've drawn a great point though, because the slippery slope, people don't talk about slippery slopes anymore because we jumped off our cliffs a long fucking time ago. Just for a refresher, for anyone out there who's not familiar with the concept of the slippery slope, it's as on the nose as you can get. You stay on the level plane, because the second you take any step down, you lose your ability. You just slide. You just slide. You just slide. You ever sit on a hill? You ever lie down, try to enjoy lying down on a hill? You will invariably end up lower on that hill over time, just by factor of gravity. It's what happens. If you say violence is never the answer, there's no justification for nothing, no words or justification for violence, blah, 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 except in those instances, the second you allow an exception to that rule, you have taken your first step where the inevitable conclusion is violence, is murder, is I will now take your voice away from you physically, violently, if you say things that I don't like. And that's okay. We're okay with that now. We're actually having people online go to bat, justify on television, on our talk shows, go to bat for that point of view, for the point of view that actively leads to you to saying something. Hunter said something about the Jews that I didn't appreciate. So next HorrorHound, I'm just going to shank him, leave him for dead in an alley somewhere.
That was Brandon, not me.
Fucking kidding.
I know. Brandon was the one that said Holocaust isn't real. Was it.
I'm assuming kidding.
Yeah, no. I mean, at least I hope he was, because I don't want the past 3 years of our friendship pretty much ending up with me being friends with a Nazi.
We were obviously fucking around. I'm confident that he was kidding. Based on all the other conversations that I had with that child over the weekend, I don't think he's a Nazi.
That child, how old do you think he is?
He's 24, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that child.
I mean, he's not that much younger than you.
7 years younger than I am.
You're what, 31? 31.
24 plus 7 is 31.
You know what? It is 10:18 at night. I am stoned. I just got off work. Fuck you.
That's the best response I've ever heard to her. I'm going to use it all the time.
That's not going to work out as well for you.
Hi, Jeff.
Fine. To be fair, you use that excuse on me all the time anyway. You just don't say fuck you. Literally every time. You're like, it is late and I am high. And I'm like, yeah, fair enough. Yes, Greg Kirby. I knows math. See, younger than us, still a child. Exactly. I call everyone kid. I'll call people older than me kid too. It's fun.
Oh, I do the same thing.
It is fun for me.
It's like, but I'm older than you. And
hey, YouTube wanted me to take a survey. As a valued creator in our community, we invite you to provide feedback on the impact YouTube has had on your life, economy, society, and culture. Your input will make YouTube better for you and your community.
No, it won't.
Do you want to take this survey with me?
Sure.
Let's see. Do you upload videos as a YouTube creator, either in a personal capacity, as part of a business that you own wholly or in part, or operate, or as a freelancer? I don't know how to answer this question. It's either as a freelancer or as part of a business that I wholly own and operate. Because it's technically both, because I do have a channel for Milestone Fencing Studio now, but I guess Mindless Entertainment, I'm really a freelancer. So, all right, that's the answer you want. As a freelancer, because fuck you. Okay.
Jesse, we have a problem. I cannot find my pen.
You had it like a second ago.
It's right in front of me. I'm just blind.
You're me with my phone or the spens or anything. Oh,
yeah.
I don't know if I ever explained this. We call them spens because everything is space. It's all weed is space for us, so they're space pens. Is yes an option?
That was probably a bad idea.
Oxford Economics is conducting a study on behalf of Google in order to help us assess YouTube's impact on the economy, society, the culture, and understand how creators are using YouTube services. This survey explores how you as a YouTube creator contribute to the economy, society, and culture, and the impact YouTube has on your life. How many times are you going to write the same fucking sentence? Jesus Christ. This clearly is a legitimate academic study because nobody is this redundant unless it's for academia. Do you want to take this fun survey with me?
Fuck yep.
All right. This is going to be retarded. I always love taking these surveys because I'm like, oh, great. It's an opportunity for me to tell YouTube how much I hate them. YouTube's like an abusive relationship for me.
Conspiracy theory, okay?
Yeah.
The whole Will Smith, Chris Rock thing was a PR scam because they knew the Oscars weren't getting enough views as they used to, so they did this to bring in more views.
Jeff said the same thing.
Oh, hey, what's up?
You know why I say that? Because
why?
It's Will Smith's image. What did they give him? The last thing he'll ever need. He's got a complete career. Oscar, multi-million-dollar pictures. There's literally nothing else. Grammys. He ain't going back to TV. He produces award-winning shit anyway. He said, if this was real, if this was fake, no, he does not hurt from this at all. He rides off into the sunset with the thing every actor covets the most.
That's a good point. It's a good point. If you're gonna, he'd be a great choice as a fall guy for that. Yeah, there you go. But people are talking more about the slap than the Oscars. I still won't watch it. Yeah, that's why I said what I said is it doesn't matter because the result is the same. The thing that I'm concerned about oh my God, Jane just took his fish toy and brought it over to the food bowl and put it in. He took it back out to play, but he's like, I'm hungry and also want to play. So I would put this toy in this bowl and maybe I would have fish. Nobody's complaining about Sean Crow. People forget quickly. Thorby, this was different though. This is live in front of people, and the conversation is different. In the instances of Sean Penn, Russell Crowe, everyone unequivocally condemned them. They had to go away, Knox, and come back. This is the first time.
What happened with Sean Penn and Russell Crowe? I'm not aware of this.
Oh, who did Sean Penn hit? Paparazzi,
right?
It was a popper, somebody in the paparazzi. Okay. Just, yeah, it's the same thing. He hit somebody with a camera. And then, yeah, Russell Crowe was throwing the phone out the hotel window and all that shit, destroying the hotel room. And it was during his divorce. And he has documented anger management issues too. He's, had a couple of flare-ups and shit like that. But when those things happen, we make fun of them. They're the butt of the joke. They get made fun of. They, and then they have to do their lumps, take their time, go out of the public eye for a while, do their apology tour. And if it wasn't too bad, then maybe one day they'll be forgiven. Yeah. James and Jane, I'm with you. Who slaps? This guy's under his wife. He slugs. I really slap. Yeah. Not only are you such a bitch. When you're enough of a bitch,
the angle that he slapped him at.
You're enough of a bitch that you're letting your wife fuck other dudes. You're enough of a bitch that you're slapping other men to defend her instead.
Will Smith is a cuck.
But he is. And it also doesn't matter whether it's a stunt or whether it's real, because the result is the same. The result is the normalization of violence. The result is we have people out there who now are starting to believe, because for some reason they take their cues off celebrities, are truly starting to believe that it is okay for them to hit people now if you say something they don't like. And you know what? Bring Get the fuck on. This is why I took Krav Maga. You were saying earlier how let's put this away for a second. You were saying earlier how you don't want to do. I am looking for. I am hoping for. I want violence all of the time. I have realized that I interact with the world now differently because I'm not afraid of violence. I have interactions now where other people will back down because they're scared that somebody's going to escalate, and I'm standing there going, "I'm not afraid of you. The only thing you can do now is take a swing, and I'm ready for it." So I don't fear violence from people. But I also understand what its place is for. As a person who desperately wants to beat the shit out of everybody all the time and loves the feeling of slugging someone, I believe ardently, fervently, and live by those rules. The only justification to do violence out in the world outside of something structured, like a war or a sporting event, is self-defense. When you believe truly the only way to protect your safety is to hurt somebody. Now, granted, you give me that reason. Now, I was in a situation where someone did something that you definitely argue was assault, but it was very light. I did not hit that person. I went to the police and filed a report. When the police failed to do something, I made a video. They got very grumpy about that because apparently a lot of my fans also got grumpy about that, and they got a lot of phone calls and reviews, and then the police threatened me. It was fun. Somebody hit me in the face, and I hit them back. It was delightful. I left hooked. They went down. It was one of the most amazing feelings ever. I waited and waited. And the thing is, I didn't even try. I wasn't even trying. I like looking around, thinking of it, like goading for it, whatever. It was like the moment was there. I didn't even think about it. I wish I'd been a little more mentally present to enjoy it because it was just a natural reaction. You hit me, I hit you back. The end. That. Jesse, would you lean into a punch? No, I would block it. The thing is, I don't need to lean into it. I don't need to actually take it. If you take a swing, that's good enough. I can dodge. I can duck. I can weave. I can block the punch, and it's on. I don't have to take it for it to be a thing. But anyways.
My thing is pure brute force. So, and that's where I falter because I don't know how to separate emotion from fighting. So when I fight, it's pure emotion, and that can be easily manipulated, and that's where I falter.
Well, the thing is unless you're doing it for sport, you should use that emotion and adrenaline in an actual fight, and you should go absolutely ape shit and rearrange their face and their body parts until they can't hurt you. That's tender Krav Maga. Easiest way to make sure that if somebody is dead or incapacitated, they can't hurt you anymore. They can't follow you if their legs are broken. If they're unconscious, they can't keep hitting you. If they're bleeding from every orifice of their body, they can't stab you. So, also, one of our instructors, there is a knife defense move in Krav Maga that involves twisting their arm behind their back and stabbing them with their own knife. And repeatedly, actually, the move, if you're doing it correctly, you are doing that to them until they let go of the knife. And our instructor used to jokingly inform us that when we performed this move, we should, for our own self-defense, for our own defense purposes, say, "Why are you stabbing yourself?" And if we did that, we were protected. Yeah.
I can just only imagine going to stab someone only for them to reverse and be like, "Why are you stabbing yourself? You die, but you're dying fucking flabbergasted."
I'm going to write that into a movie at some point where someone just comes to attack you and you just pull that stuff that's so cool and collectively, "Why are you stabbing yourself, bro?" That'd be great. That'd be a great little John Wick moment.
All right. I got to dip for like 10 minutes. I will be back very soon.
Okay, well, hurry back because we'll probably wait. Do you have to go like this second?
How long do we have left?
10 minutes.
I can wait 10 minutes.
All right, because I was gonna say, actually, you know what? No, go do your thing because I'll do the survey with the group while you're doing that, and then we can do because Mad Lib sometimes gets away from us. So go do your thing, and then I'll do the survey, and then we'll come back and do Mad Libs. Perfect. All right, opportunities for me to go, for me to rip YouTube a new one. Okay. The survey should take around 15 minutes to complete. It covered the following topics: you and your work as a YouTube creator, YouTube's impact, both positive and negative. Oh boy. How YouTube affects your income and the wider community economy. Oh boy. All responses should be from your perspective as a creator on the platform and not as a YouTube viewer. Okay. The survey will include some financial questions, but we will provide broad ranges and request only estimates from you. All right. Please feel blah, blah, blah. I don't care if you guys know this stuff. I'll just hide it if I don't want you to know an answer to something. In which country do you live? The U.S., because I told you that already. What is your age? 25 to 34. 31 is in between those years, right, guys? Say something. I just don't start fights if someone's seriously trying to hurt or kill me. I carry something for that unlikely event. See? And people like you are often, again, it's very similar to kind of how I feel in that self-defense range. Lando, not your bull. Go to your bull. Good boy. Good boy, Lando. Lando, good boy. Good boy, Lando. He listens to me now. Good boy. It's coming. It's coming. You just got to wait 1 minute. And I know that one of the timer is off. It runs slow on one of them, so it constantly like takes longer and longer. There you go, buddy. There you go, boyos. I want to make an island a declared a nation. Sounds good, Kirby. I'll get one. I'll get an adjacent one. We can hang out. All right. What is it asking? What is estimate the number of subscribers to your most popular channel? That number. Hey, it's the fourth lowest option. That makes me feel cool. Overall, all right. How many active content uploaded in the past 12 months YouTube channels do you own or operate? 2. I guess I don't know if I've put anything up for Shit Pancake in the past 12 months though. Because it would really be 3, but I have a couple dead ones. Okay. Are there any other individuals that you co-own? Are there any other individuals that you co-own or co-manage these channels with? None. I do it all by myself. All by myself, guys. With which gender do you predominantly identify? All right. Your choices, guys, are male, female, non-binary, other, or prefer not to say. Weird choices. I feel like that's a vaguely acceptable range of choices. I should have said non-binary just to make them like me better and be like, you can't cancel me now. I said I'm non-binary, you assholes. That's really what I need to do. I need to start just being like, I'm non-binary on YouTube. Fuck you. You don't get to decide where I am and am. I mean, look, I am obviously genderqueer since I'm a man at airports, since nobody get my gender right there. Yeah, you see the dolphin now. Is woke a gender? No, man, Squatch. Attack helicopter is not an option. Dolphin is not an option. I'm very offended. She Pancake, you're not allowed to identify as a dolphin on this. I have a bachelor's degree. I'm smart. We're going to ask you a series of time. Okay. Just ask me. Don't preface that you're going to ask me. Just ask me. How much time do you spend on your channels as a creator? Probably 8 to 16 hours per week. Yeah, because I got 2 shows and I do other work for it. Used to be more. I mean, I spend way more on my other platform. When you are not working on YouTube, how would you describe your employment status? Freelance / gig economy worker. Yeah. Self-employed. No, I would describe myself as self-employed. I'm not really a gig worker. I have continuous work doing the things that I do. Hey, super chat. What's up? Sorry about all the spam in the chat today. It's probably sketch, but whatever. Reddit has banned the word groomer. Please see Salty Cracker's latest video on his YouTube channel for more information. Thank you, Exiled Martyr, for bringing this to our attention. I don't like censorship. I don't believe in censorship. I'm not okay with censorship. I don't like how social media platforms keep taking words out of your mouth. I don't like how the right keeps wanting to tell you what you can and can't teach in schools. I think both things are censorship. I think both the left and the right now are incredibly guilty of censorship. The left wants to tell you the words you can and can't say. The right wants to tell you the ideas you can and can't have. It's all bad, guys. It's all bad. Salty Crackers on YouTube, guys, if you want to know more about Reddit's latest ban. These are the ones too where it's like people engaging in grooming behaviors are not using the words groomer. etc. So how are people supposed to have pet grooming now? That's also completely retarded. It's such a regular word. Like, you can't just eradicate it. Pet grooming is an entire industry. You can't cancel the pet grooming industry because suddenly you want to cancel the word grooming. That's fucking retarded. Shut up, Matt. Can't even get my name right. But I believe that is societal censoring. That is, you've proven you're too stupid to be allowed to talk. Thank you. So yeah, you take this word out. People engaged in grooming behaviors now can't be actively called out for what they're doing on the platform because the people trying to call them out will get blocked. But the people engaged in these behaviors won't get blocked because there are no button words associated with, getting underage children ready to be fucked by adults. I don't believe in censorship. Everyone wants to tiptoe around. If you say the words child pornography out loud, it means that you do it. No, it doesn't. This weird thing. We have to say CP, cheese pizza. Don't talk about it. Don't say it. Child pornography. It's a terrible fucking thing. It's awful. It's a crime. Don't do it. It's terrible. But don't take the words out of your lexicon because you're afraid that somehow if you say child pornography out loud on the internet, it's going to manifest it in your inbox. Cancel me for saying it. I will die on this hill. Oh yeah, you can't say Trump card anymore because now everyone freaks out. Oh, what do you mean Trump card? It's a word. It exists in our lexicon before he was ever fucking born. Okay, calm down. It's the world. Anyway, where are we? To what extent do you agree with the following statements? The revenue I receive from channel membership is an important source of income for me. Strongly disagree. I refuse to set up channel membership because I won't give you any more money. I'll just say not even applicable. The revenue I receive from advertisements placed on my YouTube content is an important source of income for me. Strongly disagree. Being on YouTube has brought me opportunities away from the platform. Yes, correct. That's what I do agree with. It has brought me lots of opportunities off the platform. The revenue I receive from advertising placed on my YouTube content is fair. Strongly disagree. On YouTube, I have more control over how my content is distributed and monetized on the platform than if I were to create content on other platforms. Strongly disagree. Wow, YouTube. Thank you for finally writing the survey so I could tell you how I really feel. You're not going to like the answers. And you're not going to do anything about it either. That's the thing. I'm just going to keep going and making my money off of a different platform. Maybe they're finally doing this because I keep responding to all of their surveys. And when I say I'm sure hundreds of other people are doing the same. I keep responding to their surveys by saying, I am using other platforms because I hate you. I'm using other platforms because I hate you. I'm using other fucking platforms because I fucking hate you. Side note, did you want to jump in for Mad Libs when Hunter gets back? The usual. All right. So. Jeff said yes to Mad Libs. Hooray. The chat will be excited. They always feel like they get a special gift whenever you grace them with your presence because they did.
Because I am.
It's true. You are a gift. Okay. I feel a strong commitment to produce high quality content. Strongly agree. YouTube gives underrepresented voices a platform. Strongly disagree. YouTube has enabled me to build a community around my channel that I'm proud of. I'm proud of the community I've built around my channel, but I don't think YouTube is responsible for that. So I'm going to say neutral. What's better, timeout or remove? Greg Kirby, for those spammers, just remove. Timeout is only 5 minutes. Yeah, if someone's just like kind of being a jerk and crosses a line, give him a timeout. But this guy, the spammer, just remove. Thank you, Greg. Thank you so much. You guys are the best. Thank you guys. Thank you, mods, for everything you're doing. You're really being put to work tonight. So thank you to everyone who's keeping up with the spam. I appreciate you guys. All right, we're filling out a quick YouTube survey while Hunter is doing some business, and then we're gonna do our Mad Libs. Here we go. It's nighttime now. God damn, when did that happen? There's so little time. YouTube helps me export my content to international audiences I wouldn't otherwise have access to. Strongly disagree. YouTube provides an opportunity to create content and earn money that I wouldn't get from traditional media. Disagree. It does, but it's not very good for it. YouTube provides a platform for undiscovered talent that is not being surfaced by traditional media. Strongly disagree now. It's easier at this point. Honestly, I've said this. It is easier. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change my other answer to strongly disagree too. I've said this before. If I was not SAG, it would be easier to get cast as a non-union actor than it is to make money. It would be easier to make money on YouTube, make money as a non-union actor than it is to make money on YouTube. Hands down, flat out. Go away, you fucking spam bots. Nobody cares. Jesus Christ. Thank you, mods. Hermo. We're having spammers. We're having some spammers. Yeah, YouTube is mainstream media now. It doesn't feel like it has any of these perks. YouTube encourages me to create diverse and inclusive content. No. YouTube allows me to create stronger bonds within the communities I identify with. Definitely not. YouTube is an essential platform to earn a global presence. Oof, God, no. I want to use the influence I discovered on YouTube to make a positive impact on society. I mean, strongly agree there, but I don't use it on YouTube. YouTube helps me share my passions and ideas. No. See, this is where I want to. I'm inspired. I'm passionate. I'm all of those things, and you ain't helping me do it. I like how the spammer thinks like we're gonna get tired before they do. Like, I don't care, you know. This is why I got mods. YouTube's community guidelines hinder my creative expression. Strongly agree. YouTube is my primary source of revenue. Disagree. I do get a lot of revenue from it, but it is not my primary source anymore. I identify and feel like I have a place to live. No, I feel like YouTube hates me. YouTube rewards me fairly for my work as a creator. Strongly disagree. Oh my God. By the percentage, I get a smaller payout for what I do on 17 Live, but I still feel like my efforts, my time is rewarded more on that platform than on this one. YouTube's algorithm makes it hard to attract new viewers. Strongly agree. Oh my God. Yes, you hate me. YouTube helps me be creative. No, YouTube sucks my creativity out. Yes. Oh my God. It makes it so hard to attract new people. Are you kidding me? All you do is siphon subscribers off and don't ever put me in front of new people. The people who are subscribed to me with the notification bell selected can't even get my fucking notifications. Jesus Christ. Mods too strong. Spammer can't make counts fast enough. It's true. We're awesome. We are so awesome. You suck. It's like a game. Honestly, that's why I never mind when these mods do this shit. It's like a game. Like, oh, how quickly can we block them? So fast. So fast. Okay. What impact does your role as your YouTube creator have on the following aspects of your life? Personal/emotional fulfillment. Very negative. Oh my God. Oh my God. Physical health, somewhat negative. Social life, somewhat positive. Financial stability, somewhat positive. I would say no, somewhat negative. Somewhat negative. It used to be positive. Now definitely negative. Actually, you know, actually very negative. Very negative. Very negative financial stability. My family life, no impact. My relationships with the communities I identify with, no impact. Professional goals, completely counter to my professional goals. I spammed once because I didn't hear my message read, not here somewhere else. I felt a little bad about it. Oh, Johnny the Whiz Kid. Sometimes, I'll bet you it is War Campaign, actually. I didn't even think of that. I didn't even connect that. I've been talking shit about Testify. We had a whole thing where I was like, oh, Testify's dead, and I'm glad. Those bitches get word of that stuff so fast, and they were in my Discord. So yeah, it's got to be War Campaign. Yeah, no, honestly, yeah. It's wait, what if Jesse hired a spammer to keep mods busy? You caught me. I wanted to make my mods feel important, so I just hired a spammer. And that's what's up. So, all right. We're about to ask you a series of things. This is how we define things. Total. Okay. Income from other sources. Totally unrelated. Helped by your activity on YouTube. Totally unrelated. And would have been otherwise. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Which of the following bets? How you receive income for your YouTube activity? How you receive? I receive it as personal income. Okay. Yeah. I guess. Select the one that represents most of your YouTube income. Yeah, I receive it as personal income, I guess. I have an LLC set up for that yet, for my other thing. I was about to say Johnny the Whiz Kid. As when I read your name and I thought about spamming with messages, I was like, I think you did do that to me one time. I get people get frustrated, but like that's a totally different thing. You know, not I don't love I got it. I figured it out. I figured it out. Thank you for giving us my mouth something to do. You sad losers. Thank you. Oh God, thank you also for letting me know how important I still am to you guys. Thank you, Sketch is back. If Sketch, you get this, you get as long as you're cool, we're cool. But that's how I'm with you. Those fuckers, they get no nothings. Okay, Johnny. Okay. I don't have any beef with you, dude. Hey, we're at 100 likes. Sick. Welcome back. Ooh,
Hello,
we figured
sorry.
out Hunter, we figured out who all the spammers were. Actually,
Okay.
Sketch figured it out. So there's this group called War Campaign, and they're just like a troll group on YouTube. They started as part of Comicsgate, and they just became this asshole troll group. And they thank you, Sketch. As long as you behave, it's cool. All right, as long as you behave. That's it. Just the death threat, pretty much. It is not actually Will Smith spamming Greg Kirby. Okay, so Testify HD was this part of War Campaign, was like his own special, like super asshole part where they were shittier. He was even shittier to everybody else. My friend lost her sister last year. He made fun of her. He made memes out of like dead sister memes when that happened. And then she called him out on thank you, Sketch. She called him out on a stream, and he doubled down. And all they do is go around, they harass people. It's really funny. I actually met somebody who used to be part of that group who was like, yeah, I used to be part of that. And I was like, I didn't even know why we were harassing you. And then I started watching your streams, and I was like, you're really cool. And I was like, if we hate her, then we hate me. Oh yeah, Sketch, you can say anything you want. That shit's all fly. You can say whatever you want about Testify. So he died. He like just straight up died like last year or something. And that is the first time that I have been this close to a person who died where I've been like, yeah, I'm not upset. I'm like, this is for the best. Like everybody in our community is like, wow, thank God the world is a better place without him.
Right.
Like, all he did was exist to cause pain to other people. And yeah, so we were talking about that because a couple of War Campaign people had found their way into my Discord, were trying to cause problems. He died like a bitch. He did it. It sounds like basically all of his negative energy just shut his systems down. He died horrifically painful from something. Anyway, kidney failure, some shit. So yeah, Testify is dead. Long live nothing, assholes. He's fucking dead. Ha ha. I'm saying that there is a chat freaking out. So when we were talking, when it came up, and I was explaining who War Campaign was and why, yes, it is okay anytime somebody says that they're with Testify. What the fuck is that?
Oh, I'm spraying compressed air.
Oh, I see.
Sorry.
So Mad Cabal, this is the guy who made fun of Anna's sister for being dead right after she died. I was with Anna for the memorial. I was on the phone with Anna through a lot of that ordeal, including the falling out with her other sister as part of that. I was there for all that shit. I know exactly how much that affected and continues to affect her. Madaween, he's new. He'll learn. And I will tell her, Sketch. I will tell her. We'll make sure she knows. Anyway, yeah, no, straight up, I don't care. I do not give a shit. About this guy being dead. He literally just lived to hurt people. Like it's cute how much these people are still upset by this though. So yeah, so I was one of the many people that he would just like he would tell all of his people that they hated to hate me and like hate videos and all this stuff. And so I was talking about this and expressing my feelings about how, all right, so here's the thing. If you hit your mute button for a second, you can still hear me, and now you can make all the noise you want while you can still hear me. And now, whenever you're done making noise, you just hit unmute, and then there, there you go. So he was a terrible person, and so because I was talking shit about him the other day, he all of his surviving cronies have heard, because all they do is literally troll the internet to find out when people are talking shit about Testify. And yeah, all they do. It's like a sixth sense. All they do is sit around and like, is there somebody I can annoy today? Is there somebody I can spam today? Is there somebody I can talk to? Like literally the message they're going with. So they were just doing the Will Smith spam, the whole chat, right? And then once I called it out, once Sketch said that they were it was the Testify clan, and I called it out. This is literally their only line right now. Long live Testify. He made fun of you. He is a genius. Like, wow, that's your bar. That's real low.
Hard to be a genius when you're 6 feet in the ground.
Right? Yeah. Not if you're that smart, you might have lived a little longer, bro. Do you have any other comments on the impact YouTube has had on your life and livelihood? Oh my God. Fuck. Shit, we don't have time for that one. Okay.
You're like, boy, do I.
Oh, do I? Yeah, I'm gonna do that in a minute. Fucking if there's no word limit, I'm gonna write an essay. Oh boy, I'm gonna write for days. All right. Okay. So mods, keep it up. Testify spammers, we're over this message. Can you pick a new one, please? What was I looking for? Oh yeah, Mad Libs. Jeff, we're into Mad Libs if you want to come in. Cool. Where's the big book? Damn it, here it is. Mad Libs! Whee! Okay. Got it. Big book. That's the book. Oh my God, food. Oh, I can smell our food. It smells so good. Jeff's making a salmon. It smells amazing. First, in honor of Zach Blackfire, I promised I would read this for him when I found it. This was one of our greatest. I have opened almost right to it, didn't I? Oh no, it's another. Zach Blackfire has been in this story multiple times. I did not realize that. Here we go. God, these stories how did you get such a finely tuned anus? Is your father a mechanic?
That's a question I ask everyone.
Oh my God. Gilbert Godfrey's libido and how to lose Gilbert Godfrey's libido in 10 days. Oh my God. Okay. It was in this one, I think. I don't think it was in the Kama Sutra one. Okay. Romantic men, fantasy first dates. Oh, I think it's fantasy first dates part 2. Dating disasters. Oh, no, it's dating disasters. Here we go. Okay. Are you guys ready for one of the thank you for changing your message, Testify nerds, Testify trolls. Thank you for listening to me. It's really nice because Testify's dead. You guys need a new letter. So I should start a parody Is Test Still Dead YouTube or Twitter account. That's Is Testify HD Still Dead? Just do the same thing. Yes, Testify HD is still dead. Suck it. Anyway, So thank you. You need some new person to follow. So I told you guys to change your message and you just listened to me immediately. So thank you. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you. All right. So dating disasters. You ever have a raunchy first date? You can't believe you wasted more than 5 minutes with such an unbelievably clumsy person. Listen to these wieners recount their most memorable first date disasters. Taylor. A guy once cooked pasta with ass hats for me. But when he was serving it, he accidentally spilled it all over my dumpy shirt and then suggested he eat it off me. Emma. I went out with this beast named Zach Blackfire, who showed up in an I like big assholes and I cannot come t-shirt. She said that was what attracted to, yeah. She said that was why she was attracted to me, because my ear hair was so big and ticklish. Priya. I will never forget this musty guy named Schmucktacular. He looked like a male model with long salty hair and a pair of rock hard crotch balloons that he nicknamed Kathy Bates and Shit Pancake.
What the ever unbridled fuck?
Well, that's Mad Libs for you. That is the reason that there is a t-shirt available in my spring. I'll just post my my link tree. My merch store is in here. Mindless Mob merch store is in here, guys. If you want to go to my merch store, you can actually buy a t-shirt that says I like big assholes and I cannot come. You can buy that on a t-shirt. It's attributed to Zach Blackfire. He's right here in the chat. He's very proud of the shirt.
God damn it.
Yep. He's the person who asked me to reread that Mad Lib. Oh, we're doing this one. Okay. So here's how it works. Chat, you'll get every third word, because I got 2 other people participating here. So chat, boop, boop, boop. You're going to start us off with chat. Your first word is going to be an adjective. So roll your adjectives in the chat, guys. If anybody sends a super chat, it will supersede any other suggestion. Obviously, but because we're capitalists, we're dirty capitalists. But otherwise, I will pick the one that I like the best from the adjectives you suggest. Baldy. Hunter, please kick us off with a verb ending in ing.
Coming.
I like it. Excellent start. Jeff, a number, please. You got it. Jeff wants 69. Hunter, do you understand this reference? Jeff told me the way that Jeff communicated the number he wanted me to pick was by doing this.
69, dudes.
Yep.
My mom and I, every time we pass a Circle K, we have a game. And it's whoever says the phrase "strange things are afoot at the Circle K" first gets the point. That's our game.
My mom worked at Circle K. I used to quote that movie to her all the time.
Love it. All right. Adjectives. I think I gotta take. I'm just gonna make it bald. Because. Oh, what's our nickname for her? Are we just calling it was Baldy something, right?
Baldy Locks.
Baldy Locks. Official channel canon. Jada Pinkett Smith's name is Baldy Locks. Chat, another adjective, so keep them rocking. Oh, sorry. Actually, chat, you're doing a plural noun. No, wait, yes. Yes, chat, you're a plural noun. Hunter, you're an animal.
Bat, since we were talking about Batman. Don't ever reference 69, then begin the next sentence with my mom.
Thank you, Matt Owen, for the super chat.
It's funny because if you know my mom, she would probably feed into that joke with me.
I briefly met her.
She is an amazing person.
She seemed really cool. I liked her hair. It was neat.
Yeah, she won't ever undye it. Not until she won't ever let it go. She told me the day I have a child is the day she lets her hair go.
Ha! Plural noun, chat. You're working on plural noun. That's a good answer. Jeff, you have an adjective, please.
Action.
Oh. It's amazing.
Sweetly.
Oh, Greg Kirby says my mom is a Karen, sadly. Oh no, does she need
Karen
to talk to
Kirby.
the manager? All right, plural nouns. What do we get? Bumblebee bums. Thorby, I just really like the alliteration there. Nuggets. Squatches. I dig it. Let's see what the I'm going with bumblebee bums. That's just fun to say. Bumblebee bums.
Sounds like an unreleased Beatles song.
Bumblebee bums. Bumblebee bums. Sounds like a Ringo song.
Wait,
It's the sequel. It's the sequel to Octopus's Garden. Buzzing around, buzzing around, hiding away.
I don't know.
I was
you got it.
going with it. I don't know if you. I don't know how well we were synced, but I fucking.
Oh, it was probably not synced at all.
But I ad-libbed a beautiful song to your beautiful music. So
Well, thank you.
yes, thank you. Okay. Bumblebee bums. Chat, you guys are working an adjective again. Hunter, you have an adjective.
An adjective is a describing word, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Ugly.
I like it.
And copyrighted for an unknown song.
It belongs to somebody else. It's not you. We don't know who, but it's not you. You can't have it. You're fired. Fuck. That's how YouTube treats me. Adjective squatchly. Squatchy would work too. I actually kind of like squatchy.
It's Merle Haggard. It was Merle Haggard. It was secretly a Merle Haggard song. He's calling. I want my Merle money.
Give me my Merle bucks.
Dad, Merle Haggard's on the phone. He says he has to talk to you. Tell Merle Haggard I said we're dead. Burn the house down. Set the house on fire and run.
Jeff, you get a part of the body because of course you do. Jeff always gets body parts. Testicles.
Testes. If a quiz is a quizzical, then what's a test?
Oh my God, Jeff, you're the best. Hey, it sounds like Testify. Who's still dead?
Ha ha! Get it? He's a rotting corpse 6 feet underneath the ground.
Oh God, this is gonna be. It's just gonna become my running thing to make fun of Testify being dead until it actually does become tasteless. It's gonna be great. All right. I think I'm gonna use squatchy. I'm gonna use squatchy as my adjective. Man, squatch. Thank you. I just like squatchy. It's just fun. It's fun to say. I'm very. Hunter. Oh, chat. You're working an adjective again. Hunter, you have an occupation. Pluralize it, please.
Prostitutes.
Good one. Jeff, a past tense verb, please. Oh, this is gonna be. Thank you guys for rising to the occasion. This really is gonna be one for the ages. Oh, Zach, Cody was asking if you were on Discord, and if not, we'd get you because that's where you can talk to him about fandom jump stuff that you want to do. So if you need any help figuring out the Discord sphere, also there's a link in my link tree, so it'll help you get on it. Okay. Adjective we have, let's see. Fresh, slippery, itchy, stinky.
The Itchy and Scratchy Show.
Let's see. Cheesy.
Dick Cheese. Me and my homies rolling up to the Dick Cheese convention.
Oh, fresh. Let's see. Fresh, itchy, stinky.
Fresh, because Fresh Prince, Will Smith.
Yeah, this is for Will and Baldilocks. Fresh it is. All right, one more chat. One more adjective chat. One more adjective. An adjective from you as well, Hunter.
violent. Because,
Violent.
violence. We're talking about violence.
Because it's allowed now. It's
Yeah.
allowed to hit anyone we want. Jeff, another number, please.
666, the number of the beast.
Hell, that fire, we're born to be released.
I do love that song. I can do that yell in the beginning. By the way. I live alone. I need a time to get the memories from my mind. Did I see in my own dream was the reflections of my woman staring back at me? Because in my dreams, it's always there. The evil face that twists my mind and brings me to despair. Oh, it's about that long.
Fucking, I used to be able to do the 16 or 17-second scream from Linkin Park's Given Up.
Nice.
I used to be able to do that.
Sometimes when I do that one in the car or just here, I will actually go so hard and lose so much air that my vision will black out for a second.
Oh yeah, no, me too.
It's so much fun. Pegging. Let's see. Ooh, that's a good adjective. Steamy, gassy, curdled. I'm gonna go with
Ew.
pegging. Thank you, Zach Blackfire. All right, you guys ready to hear the story that we wrote? I need to be high for this one. It's gonna be better that way. Are you gonna be our our soundtrack? All right, guys. We wrote. Oh, you can keep playing. You can keep going. We wrote. Oh,
Okay.
The history.
That was just gonna be like a little intro music.
We wrote the history of cats. Guys, cats have been coming. Cats have been coming with, or at least tolerating people for over 69 years. I don't want them to come with it. Cats first became a part of our bald lives when people started to grow grain. The grain attracted bats, and the cats preyed on the bats. Cats soon became a squiggly fixture in people's bumblebee bums and were even worshipped in ugly Egypt. Only ugly Egypt. There was even an Egyptian goddess that had the testicles of a cat.
Oh, so none.
Yeah, the mouse. However, in the Squatchy ages, cats came to be demonized and were thought to be affiliated with evil prostitutes. Many cats were fucked to ward off evil. In the 1600s, the cat's fresh reputation was restored, and today cats are violent stars and live in 666% of American households. Talk about a long and pegging history. I think we just wrote the history of furries.
Is that canon now? Is that the history of furries in the
It's the history of cats according to Mindless Entertainment, and ugly Egypt is my big takeaway from that. It's not to be confused with regular Egypt. That was ugly Egypt. Cats were special. Cats had testicles in ugly Egypt.
And kids, I think that's the lesson for tonight's show, and that's if you want to blame anyone, blame the people in ugly Egypt for fucking cats, and that's why we have furries.
Yes. The people in ugly Egypt.
And that is canon within the Mindless Mob now.
Yep, in the Mindless Mob canon, this is how furries came to be. In ugly Egypt, cats were fucked. And
yep.
People fucked cats, and now we have.
And if you ask what ugly Egypt is, you're gonna get crucified. That's just how it works. We know that that ugly Egypt is a thing. You're not even allowed to even.
Yeah, you have to know.
it.
If you don't know what ugly Egypt is, why are you even in the mob?
Exactly.
Exactly. Don't sketch. It was probably a mistake. Calm down. I'm sure it was a mistake. Don't worry about it. Okay.
Oh, great. Now I'm not going to be able to unsee that mental image. You're welcome, Matt. I'm in your dreams.
I'm in your dreams. Well, thank you, Jeff, for being a Mad Libs guest. Thank you, Hunter, for being the first guest. I put your Twitter in the description so people can find you and see if you say things that are interesting.
Anytime. I loved it. I'd love to be back on if the people will have me on, if they enjoyed my mindless rants and my stuff like that. So
yeah.
if they'll have me back on, I'll be more than happy to come back.
Press 1 in the chat for Hunter. Give him some love. Show him some love. Press F in the chat for Jada Pinkett Smith's hair. Yeah, press F in the chat for Will Smith's dignity. Jada Pinkett Smith's hair. The Oscars.
In nomine Patri et Filii Spiritus Sancti.
Thank you guys. Thank you for showing Hunter some love. He was great. We'll have him back. He didn't suck.
All hail Redbeard. I saw someone type that earlier. All hail Redbeard. That is my
yeah,
new
we are just
preferred
gonna
name.
call you that from now on, though. I used to do
Redbeard.
nicknames. I'm gonna do them again. I did
I'm
put in my
fine with
phone.
Redbeard.
I put in my phone as Conboy. He'll like it better.
Yeah.
He'll like Redbeard better than Conboy.
Redbeard's more badass. I feel like a pirate.
I'm probably gonna call him Conboy. Shrebel sent you a 69 in appreciation. It's a good way to show appreciation.
Greg,
right.
I would love to partake in a 69 with you.
Well, it was Shrebels.
Well, Greg, Shrebels and Greg.
There you go. That's a big old. That's a
Shrebels, Greg, me.
Oh, dude, I wish I had it. All right. Well, guys, remember, there are no reasons, no causes, no explanations, no excuses. There's only living. And with that, God Empress out.